Hey, how's it going today? 6th of February, Tuesday, and we are taking a look at the market, what kind of opportunities are available out there. In this video, let's take a look at some of the press releases that we get UK signs or signal step change for regulators to strengthen AI leadership. Let's try to understand this opportunity and what we outlined within this article. In this article, that UK is on the course for more agile AI regulations as the government publishes its response to AI regulation white paper consultation today. So that's today's date. Let's try to understand it. Most likely, we're looking to regulate the market. I don't know. I don't know how many projects up there that you can think of. Can you think about can you think about 10 projects up there? Would be great if you can think about 10 projects. So they looking to regulate the market and what they're gonna be supporting smaller projects entering the market. They're gonna try to make sure that they're gonna regulate just one project or two. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm not very optimistic when it comes to this article, but let's try to understand what this white paper is all about. Over 100 million to support regulators and advanced researchers and innovation on AI, including hubs in healthcare and chemical discovery. That would be bullet points, right? Let's progress. Key regulators has to publish plans by end of April for how they are responding to AI risk and opportunities. Opportunities, I like to highlight those, right? There is a risk with everything, right? Opportunities, so, we're talking about 100 million, right? So how many projects they're looking to launch with that 100 million, and how this project would be able to compete against existing players, right? How those projects would be able to compete. So now more than ever, that's important. That particular thing. They're looking to make sure that just a handful of projects will succeed, and they're gonna regulate the new players. If that makes sense, eh? Or they're actually gonna focus on opportunities, making sure that there's gonna be at least one project within the UK. At least one. Can we do it? Can we do it without laws? It's a waste of time. It's a new market. There's so much opportunities, but it might be a waste of everyone's time. But let's progress. The case government makes a case for introducing future targeted binding requirements for most advanced general purpose AI systems, right? Okay, let's progress this article. The UK is on the course for more agile AI regulations, backing regulators with the skills and tools they need to address the risk and opportunities of AI as part of the government's response to AI regulations white paper consultations today. It comes at 10 million announced to prepare and upskill regulators to address the risk and harness opportunities of this defining technology. The fund will help regulators develop cutting-edge research and practical tools to monitor, address risk and opportunities in the sectors, from telecoms and or healthcare to finance and or education. For example, this might include new technical tools for examining AI systems. So within this article, there's 100 million, right? Let's start with that. From there, let's progress building our own projects. Should be important. Building their own. It's not regulating other government projects. I don't know if that makes sense to any people. 100 million. Can you build your own project with that? You're looking to regulate and use existing systems. I don't makes no sense. But either way, many regulators have already taken action. For example, the Information Commissioner Office has updated the guidance on how strong data protection laws apply to AI systems that process personal data to include fairness and has continued to hold organizations to account, such as throughout the issuing and enforcement notices. However, UK government wants to build on this by furthering equipping them for the age of AI as use of the technology ramps up. I can't highlight this enough. All information, I think, as of now, right? Just bear with me, right? all information I think has been stored outside UK. So that means all the data that's going to be collected, not by UK's project, the data are going to be collected most likely outside of UK's project, right? All the data is going to be stored somewhere outside, including something that's highlighted personal information. All the data would be collected and stored somewhere else. Why wouldn't it be better to collect that data and store everything within UK? Would that make any sense to anyone? And then they're looking to control, out, and store, and sell, potentially process that information somewhere else. But either way, it's a waste of it. I think it's a waste of everyone's time and money, taxpayers' money, and that just I don't know. The UK's agile regulation system will simultaneously allowed regulators to respond rapidly to emerging risks while giving developers room to innovate and grow within UK. They're saying they're giving room. They're not really giving room. They're making it a lot harder to do anything, while that information will be stored and potentially used, and not in the best possible way for interest of UK. UK interest should be to store, collect, and if not need to share that information outside UK. That should be UK's interest. UK's interest should not be used someone else's project. I think then they are talking about 100 million fund available. I think I have taken part in some of those processes. There was one that was called, I think, Manchester AI projects, right, where you can secure potential finance. I have covered that previously, right? So if people would like to build their own projects, perhaps there might be some opportunities, but I don't know if how those projects would be able to compete with already existing projects. But that's the challenge within itself, right? Let's progress. And try to boost transparency and provide confidence to British businesses and citizens. Key regulators, including Ofcom and or Competition and or Market Authority, have been asked to publish their approaches to mapping their technology by 30th of April. Okay, it will see them set out AI-related risks and their areas, detail their current skills and or expertise to address them, as a plan for how they will regulate AI over coming years. Okay. I don't know if anyone has impact of all of that. So they might say that there is something there, but most likely there isn't anything there. This form part of the AI regulations white paper consultation response published today, which carves out UK own approach to regulations and which will ensure that it can quickly adapt to emerging issues and avoid placing burdens on the business which could stiffen innovation. This approach to AI regulations will make UK can be more agile than competitors nations. This approach to AI regulations will make UK can be more agile and competitive. I don't know. So if competitive UK gonna use its own project and potentially sell, UK gonna build its own project and sell these services to other nations, or UK gonna use other nations' project and purchase those services. Makes no sense. But either way, I myself, I might need to build my own project if I will be able to secure finance, perhaps, or just saying, right? This approach to AI regulations will make UK can be more agile than competitor nations, while also leading on AI safety research and evaluation, charting a bold course for UK to become leader in safe, responsible AI innovation. And this is what they're saying. Perhaps people who writing this article perhaps do not understand fully what I'm saying. I'll skip this information because this information is meant to be convince people. People, I don't think that people are so naive. So I'll skip this information because that would be way of convincing people that purchasing instead of building their own is a better decision. Building or regulating existing and purchasing those services from others are a way better decision instead of having your own and regulating your own project and the data and the way how data would be collected and stored, potentially sold outside UK instead of having all the data stored and kept within UK. What is better decision? And this is the way how we would form this article. I mean, I won't waste my time reading it. After I skipped the lesson, I don't know, everyone would say that it's better outsource. if it's better to outsource all the services when it comes to AI to other governments. Perhaps I skip that. Perhaps if everyone within UK agree, it's better to outsource and purchase that, which I think is an important area. But myself, I'm not looking to take part in this kind of. If anything, I'm looking to take part in building project, not necessarily in agreeing with whatever was agreed, right? Whoever made this kind of decision, right? And so I will share this information, but I won't be reading it, right? The government will also be launching steering committee in spring to support and guiding the activities of a formal regulator coordination structure within government in spring. So only thing what they are discussing is so we're gonna be taking 100 million, right? So there's a budget, right? So we all have a budget right now as a taxpayer, so because it's our money, tax money, right? So instead of building our own project and potentially selling these services, whoever is buying it, right? So we can sell it to places like Egypt. Let's sell it as a service to Egypt. So we won't gonna. So someone convince someone to. Only thing what we're gonna do, we're gonna regulate the services, and we're gonna purchase the services, and we're gonna regulate. So instead of building it and selling it potentially to places like Egypt, so it makes no sense for me. It makes no sense. Why this 100 million cannot be given to build 100 projects and see which one of those 100 would succeed, with potentially option to, of selling the services instead of regulating. If I were a politic, if I was, I would rather have the 100 million to be paid for me to regulate this. If that makes sense. So, I mean, I understand the principle of leading people of the government to pay from taxpayers to pay themselves to regulate instead of paying 100 million to entrepreneurs, potential build and potential sell and generate more income for UK. It would make more sense. The return on investment would make more sense of building it and selling it. Yourself, if you're interested in learning more, I have published a course that will be 12 points that I'm looking to share with a personal development course. Just name a few areas: how to set targets, how to structure goals, as well as how you can potentially have a budget if it's not something that you had in the past, and that's really how you can potentially take a look at and spend a little bit of time on this kind of topics. That really very fundamental topics that I have spent so much time working on myself, and I'm looking to share that information with others when it comes to the development of your understanding skills and or potentially starting career in exploring different opportunities of setting up a company even. If it's something yourself you're interested in, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. If not, there's going to be a QR code in the corner of the company's website below. So I don't know. I don't need to repeat it myself, right? Because everyone's tired. I'm tired. Everyone's tired. What's gonna happen? What government is considering is paying itself, so to regulate existing projects instead of building it and potentially selling it to other governments. So instead of that, they would pay for them for their own services of regulating, and they're gonna pay 100 million to regulate something that potentially going to be sold to taxpayers in many ways, right? So just a matter of time, then we're going to see pop-ups. It's something that happened in the past, something most likely going to happen in the future. Just a matter of time, but either way. So that would be my own feedback, but everyone would have their own opinion, right? I have shared all these details while we're discussing consultations. About those consultations, it doesn't matter, does it? If I would share some feedback on how we're gonna regulate or pay themselves 100 million to regulate safety, transparency, fairness, and accountability instead of paying that 100 million to themselves. They could pay to a large number of projects and build those and sell those projects to other governments would be way better investment. But either way, that is my own feedback. So that would be something that the government is doing. So I need to speak with the person who have agreed on this. So I need to convince this person now instead of paying to himself, pay to somebody else. So how can take part in this consultation is such a scam? I need to convince this consultation group that they should not pay to themselves, but they should pay to entrepreneurs to build this project and invest instead of paying a salaries for themselves. The way, thanks for watching. See you next one.